Evening to wonderful viewers of Fine TV. It's your usual EDUSA hour that comes your way every Sunday. Today is another episode, which is the fifth episode since the program kickstarted. And then we have ministers from the 13th Executive Council, as usual, to elaborate on very important issues surrounding the school and the council at large. Today, we want to actually dilate more on the upcoming activity, which is the EDUSA Week, which is actually going to be one of the most important activities that the council wishes to undertake, and then also give platform to different stakeholders, and also the students to actually get to know more about their stories and then other opportunities that lies ahead of them. Now, today in the building, we have the ministers from the different ministries who are going to introduce themselves. And then from there, we also start the discussion by looking at different areas, especially their ministries, their efforts towards making the EDUSA Week a successful event. So without wasting any more time, I'll just give the opportunity to the minister that is in the logistics department to tell us who he is, and then from there we move on to the other ministers that we have in the building.
Good afternoon, the viewers, and good afternoon to Fine TV Gambia. I am very indeed glad to be part of this platform. I am Mr. Momodu M. Cham, Technical Logistic Minister, 13 Executive Council, EDUSA. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So that is the logistics minister, the technical and logistics minister of the 13th Executive Council. So he'll be here to tell us actually his ministry, what it has been doing to make sure the EDUSA Week is a successful event. So later on, you will hear more from him about his efforts and his ministry's efforts to make the event a successful one. So from there, the lady in the building will also tell us who she is and actually the ministry she is representing today.
Okay, good evening, viewers, and good evening, Fine TV Gambia. It's a pleasure being here today to talk about some important things regarding the upcoming EDUSA Week. My name is Ms. Binta Waisane. I am the Welfare and Culture Minister of the 13th Executive Council, and I am pleased being here as one of the participants. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Binta Waisane, the minister responsible for all the welfare, whatever needs to be done when it comes to their department, and she's the one leading the fronts, and then she's doing a tireless, effort, tireless job to make sure this event is a successful one. So we'll also hear from her and what her ministry is actually doing in order to make sure the event is a successful one. So from there, we move on to our big man also, who is actually the minister responsible for the education and the research issues. So he'll also tell us who he is, although he's not he's not an unfamiliar face when it comes to the program, but we will still allow him to, for another time, to tell us who he is, so we can kickstart the program.
Yeah, that's correct. Honorable Sane, good evening. Good evening, Fine TV. Good evening, viewers. Like you said, we are back again, to Fine TV to talk about issues that are pertinent to our school and our association, that is Education Student Association. So basically, I am Usman Cham. I am the Education and Research Minister, and I am here to discuss with you all issues that are pertinent to my ministry in the EDUSA Association. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Usman Cham. Once again, you are very much welcome. Ministers, you are all welcome to the platform here on Fine TV Gambia, one of those platforms in the Gambia that is actually giving opportunities to university students to express their views and also to bring on the spotlight whatever is happening in their different schools. So we actually cannot just thank Fine TV much more than what we are actually doing. Even this platform is very important. So we start with the logistics minister and the technical and the logistics minister, Mr. Cham. Mr. Cham, you know that the EDUSA week is on the 2nd, that is on Tuesday, and then we actually know that it is a very important program for the EDUSANs at large. So what is your ministry actually doing towards making that event successful?
Yes, Lamin, looking at the EDUSA week, I have to say since last week, the Technical and Logistic Ministry is observing the
Okay.
EDUSA week.
Okay.
How are we observing the EDUSA week? As you know, we are the servants of the student. So fortunately, including all the executive members of the 13th Executive Council and the committee members, every individual is a logistic minister.
Okay.
So therefore, it has been a very, very collective marathon interventions in various areas to make sure resources have been mobilized. So we're working on, and I have to say, things may not be possible if the logistical arrangements lapses. But we are proud to say 98% of the logistical arrangements are all in place.
That's a good news actually, and then the viewers will be very much happy to hear that from their logistics and then the technical minister. Okay, we'll come back to your ministry and your efforts to making sure the program is successful. We move on to the welfare minister, Ms. Sane. We know that the events are very much looming. Very soon we'll have the EDUSA week. And then your ministry, which is the welfare ministry, is very important, very paramount when it comes to the EDUSA week. So far, how has it been for your ministry?
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Minister. It is indeed a pleasure being here once more. Regarding EDUSA week, as we normally say, EDUSA week, bringing EDUSAs together. EDUSA week is a platform where students interact, share ideas as friends and colleagues. So I believe this week is a very, very important event, which we will want all education students from the four corners of the University of the Gambia to participate in this event. Regarding my ministry, I will have to thank my ministry, my committee members for their commitment that they show regarding this ministry, regarding this event that is coming ahead of us.
Okay.
Regarding our ministry, we have so many things put in place that we are planning in order to make sure that EDUSA Week becomes a success.
Okay.
We have so many events. When it comes to welfare, as I normally says, education students, their welfare is my concern. And for that being the case, I will make sure that I'll put on all the necessary things that are needed in making sure that this event wins a success.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
So that is actually what your ministry is currently doing.
Yeah, we are working on so many things regarding the event as welfare minister. We have so many activities. Welfare ministry, as you know, they have so many responsibilities when it comes to EDUSA activities.
Yeah.
So we are working tirelessly to make sure that this event becomes a success.
Yeah. Usually the welfare ministry is very important in any activity that needs to be taken, because usually it is the concern of the majority of, in fact, people feel like if the welfare ministry is actually doing the right thing, the event will be successful.
Definitely.
So that is actually the same notion I believe you have and your ministry to make towards making the program successful.
Definitely.
So then we move on to the education minister. Mr. Cham,
Yes, sir.
we actually know, perhaps some of the viewers might not know exactly what EDUSA Week is. In a nutshell, from your perspective, you might want to tell us what EDUSA Week actually means. Later on the program, actually, we'll have the president, Rasamba, to also dilate and elaborate on the significance of the activity so that the populace can know. But from your own perspective as the education and research minister, what does the EDUSA Week mean?
Yes, Honorable, thank you so very much. You've asked a very important question. And to talk on this question, of course, we'll have one step back, down to the last council that was the 12th Executive Council under this stewardship of Mr. Honorable Mamadou Sidi Jallo. So they started this EDUSA Week. Of course, it was a well-planned, moment by them, and we were there as participants, we were there as students, and of course, we've seen the essence of this of the EDUSA Week. So, as politicians, when we, took up the responsibility to vie for this position, we took it upon ourselves that, when we are put into office, we will ensure that, we'll continue this great move that the 12th Executive Council, initiated. And of course, today we are here. Alhamdulillah, we have started working on it. We have a planned week for this event. So what I will share here is, our session is going to be the second edition. The one that the 12th Executive Council, organized was the first edition, and ours is going to be the second edition. So when we talk about EDUSA Week, it is a whole week program, and it has a line of activities, right, ranging from symposium, cultural shows, debate. You also have sports, awards. Giving ceremony. These are all things that are included in this very important week. So as planned, we want to do it in that manner. We'll be, having symposium where we'll invite, stakeholders, people who are very significant in, the upbringing of education, to be a very strong, institution in our country. So we'll invite, the likes of the PS, that is the permanent secretary of MOPSI. We'll also like to invite the director of curriculum, MOPSI, that is Minister of Basic and Secondary Education. We'll also invite, personnel from GTU and other, great people in our country to talk to us as students, because like we are teacher trainees, and of course, when we are done with our program, we are going back to the field and serve. So, in as much as education is concerned, in as much as our responsibilities, our rules as teachers, is concerned, we are strong stakeholders in education. And when we go back to the classroom, when we go back to our schools, we need to develop the mind, of our students. So basically, this is a plan that we have as a council, the 13th Executive Council. So, like I said, we'll have symposium, we'll have debate, we'll have sport, we'll also have cultural show. So we have ministers here who are going to talk on, the issues that have been arranged for these events, so that all those who should come, all those who are invited, will benefit from this, to the maximum. So basically, we are here to talk about that.
That is a very good summary. We will very much dilate more into all what is going to come, the teams, and also the activity that will be in place when it comes to the week. Mr. Cham, you've heard from the Education Minister, who was talking about actually what happens in the EDUSA week. You might want to add one or two things that he might not have included when it comes to the activities that happen on the day.
Yes, I don't want to mention things outside of my ministry.
Yeah, okay.
But then so long, I am the host.
This would be.
I am the host.
Of course.
Yeah. Yes.
No
I am the host to the program.
Sure.
The logistic ministry.
No problem.
So, and I have to remind the viewers and education ministry that the EDUSA week is going to take place at Brikama campus at Chancery.
Yeah.
So I saw 2 or 3 people asking where is the venue, unlike the student week.
Yeah.
So we are directly going to do this program in Brikama campus.
Yeah.
As he made mention, a lot of activities ranging from sports, where we have a lot of hidden talents within the educationists.
Yeah.
And those talents would have not been showcased if there is no platform for it.
Yeah.
And we as educationists, not only some of us are prepared for only classrooms.
Sure.
There are people who can do beyond the classrooms. As there are issues there that would have addressed the debate issue. So therefore, there are a lot of things in store. So I know maybe viewers may eagerly want to know, but I'm just appealing to them to at least come on board in their numbers and make sure we be that school who will call a program and we showcase our own event.
That is for sure. Yeah, we actually need their presence and then also being an audience. Here, when we talk of the EDUSA week, like the education minister made mention, we have those important activities that will take place. from your own perspective and from your ministry stand, what do you think? You know, the EDUSA week is. Why do you think it is so much important for the students?
Yes, in my own perspective,
Yeah.
I would say this. EDUSA Week is something that I think students will learn new things,
Okay.
because for the symposium, there will be a lot of issues
Okay.
that I may not be privileged to attend those courses,
Okay.
or I may not be studying those kind of areas.
Yeah.
So, but bringing an expert to talk on those areas will widen my capacity as an educationist who is prepared to at least put the knowledge into students.
You might read some of those things from a book, a textbook, and so. But hearing from the horses, horse's mouth,
yeah,
it makes it very much clear and so.
Definitely.
We'll come back to that. So,
Yeah,
Binta, like the honorable ministers have been mentioning, from your own perspective also, and from your ministry stand, what do you think is so much important about this event that it needs to take place?
Okay, thank you so much. EDUSA Week is a very, very important event.
Yeah.
This is a platform where students come, share ideas, as I said earlier, as friends and colleagues, and also we will have an important guest.
Yeah.
We have so many experienced people out there who will come and give us something that we don't know, because we are learning and we are still learning.
Yeah.
So some of these things that we are true, that are to take place on that very day, it is something that we will learn from and will benefit us in future. Because in it we have health symposium, we have curriculum, people who come from ministry to talk to us about curriculum, and so many important things that we may not know regarding education sector.
Yeah.
And most importantly, health too will be discussed.
Yeah.
So this is
Very
why
common, very
education
important.
students are encouraged to come and attend, to come in their large numbers. This is an event organized for them. We, the executive, we alone cannot do it.
Yeah.
We cannot do it without the presence of the students. We are doing it for them. So all that we need from them is their participation. That is very important.
It could also serve as an opportunity.
Serve as an opportunity, exactly. It serves as an opportunity to learn new things from experienced people out there. So I think EDUSA Week is very important, and I believe within the week we will learn a lot from it.
Yeah, I think the executives have done a lot by going to different ministries and different departments, meeting them, telling them actually about the event.
Exactly.
So those present could also have opportunities by listening to those ones. They could also explain some of the ways that we need to take as students after our graduation and so on. So I think those are all important things that will happen in that day.
Exactly.
So that is it. So Honorable Cham, like Simid mentioned, so those are important issues that we will, the audience might be privy to, once they attend the event. That is, they could also tap in opportunities from different stakeholders who will be buttressing on different areas. For example, perhaps if GIZ is there also, they might also tell you some of the steps you need to take to actually acquire scholarship, to go abroad. Because this is not actually the aim of any of us.
That's very
but it's not to stop at the bachelor's level, but you want to extend it to master's level and so on. So that point also needs, some elaboration so that the people can know those opportunities are still there for them.
That's correct. You are absolutely right. This EDUSA week is a very significant week. I will say this, as the common saying goes, learning doesn't stop in the four corners,
Of
in
the
the classroom.
classroom,
It goes beyond that. We have what we call academic curriculum. We also have what we call hidden curriculum, right? We have extra curriculum.
Sure.
So the come like when we have this EDUSA week, like we said, we're gonna have these symposiums, right? And like we are going to invite the PS, and he's going to talk on the role of stakeholders, in the policy making and maintenance, right? As I said, we are key stakeholders in education.
Yeah.
We need to understand that without us, education cannot go anywhere as teachers. So therefore, if we should have people like the PS to come on board to talk to us, of course, as an educant, you should try to ensure that you are on the ground to benefit from this opportunity, right? And again, like the Gambia is now, going to have a transition of our curriculum. if you look at the context of the Gambia, you realize that employment is a problem. We have high rate of unemployment. According to statistics, it goes to 41%. I'm going by the pyramid. You realize that youths constitute around 60% of the population,
Sure.
and the statistic is saying us, telling us that 40% of the youths are not employed.
Yeah.
Then how can we transform this? Is by venturing into TVET, and this is what MOPSI is trying to do. And of course, that is why as a council we deem it essential to invite the director of curriculum to talk to us the steps that they are taking to ensuring that this good move is attained.
Yeah.
So, like I said, as students on the School of Education, as teacher trainees, of course there is need for us to understand these things. Because like we are going back to the classroom to teach, we're going to develop the mindset of young ones who are going to be leaders tomorrow.
Sure.
So of course we need to understand how to do this thing. So that is why as an EDUSANS, it's good you come on board and benefit from these opportunities, right? Like don't only be in the classroom, develop yourself. So these events are very key.
Yeah.
And of course, like we also going to have award ceremonies. In fact, we need to submit sincere thanks to our dean. Of course.
Yeah, we'll come back to all those things.
That's correct.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we will come to that. That is very important. Those are important areas. So Mr. Cham mentioned TVET education, which is one of the themes of the day. From your own perspective, Cham, what significance do you think TVET education is for our populace in general, not only for university students? Because in this platform, we actually try to elaborate on things that are very significant for the nation at large.
Yes, Mr. Sane. When you look at that, I will say TVET is for everybody.
Yeah.
TVET not for only university students.
Okay.
Looking at it from the wider perspective, I would say TVET is something. When you look at all our TVET jobs in this country here is done by foreigners.
Foreigners, exactly.
Okay, I would say 99% of the TVET education.
Sure.
I will reference to what somebody said to us at NYC.
Exactly.
You look at an individual today, you become amazed with the one with a suit and tie.
Sure.
Though whether the job is lucrative or not, everybody may think that offices is where you can make best use of things.
Sure.
So, but if you acquire a particular skill that you employ people, pay yourself, the money will still remain in this country, and again it will reduce the unemployment rate of this country. That is one of the fundamental and most essential aspect of TVET education. That's where I would not want to mention any other issue apart from this, because I think all the other importance have to come behind this.
Okay, that is very important. So we'll just pause for a while by showing the viewers actually, and this is the banner, and this is what demonstrates what is actually coming on the 2nd of this month coming, that is May 2nd. So that is the banner for you, and that is actually, those are some of the events that will be taking place. You can see on the banner the symposium, the debate, and the cultural day, plus the award ceremony and the sports day also. And then having the team, which is very important, promoting teachers' capacity for national development. I believe this is a very, actually very good banner that we have to actually thank the Ministry of the Technical and the Logistics, whose deputy is one of those people who made it very much possible. That is Sergeant Jassy. We actually thank him, and also the minister who is currently with us, who is actually Momodu M. Cham. So this is the program that is upcoming, and then that is why we are here, and that is why we are trying to talk through whatever is going to happen on that day, and then also let you know that your presence is very important and paramount, and your participation in any way is also very important. We are doing our best, and then we are also going to continue, as this is actually something that we promise you to be doing. So we are very much delighted. And Mr. Cham, as he was saying, Honorable Binda White Sane, that is, when it comes to TVET education, he made mention that in the country, most of the works that involve TVET education are not done by the Gambians. And that is very devastating, considering that, you cannot just go without TVET education. and you always need these technical jobs and so on in order to develop. So not having that in the Gambia, or not having personnel from the Gambia, makes it so devastating and so much hard to believe. From your own perspective, why do you think it's very important that we need to involve into Tibet education?
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
As we normally say, learning does not stop only at the four corners of the classroom.
Very good.
Not everybody can sit in the offices.
Yeah, exactly.
Not everybody can wear suits.
That is
so
factual.
this is why those who are not fortunate
Yeah.
to be in the offices can go and do something that will benefit them and the nation at large.
Yeah.
And TVET education is one thing that is very important. We have so many people out there who are coming from other countries to do these jobs for us. But as Gambians, if we have people who have the skills, you see to it that, in fact, the amount of money that those foreigners are requesting from us is going to reduce. Because our own people will not charge us that high amount.
At least that high amount.
Exactly.
And
if we have the skills here.
Yeah.
So that is why
the job will also be done at a very good way,
at a very reasonable price, and also it will be done in a way that you want, or in the manner that you want.
Yeah.
So TVET education is very important. The last time we visited the IGP, he emphasized, the CDS emphasized on it. He promoted it so very much. TVET education is very important, and I think it is important for them to introduce it in our school curriculums. Yeah. Because not everybody can be in offices, as I said earlier. Not everybody can be wear suits, or not everybody can be teachers or doctors or nurses. So I believe TVET education is very important for them to include it in our school curriculum.
Yeah, so you think it's very important that the executives, have this in mind, that it is important to bring in such team in the EDUSA.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a very important team. And also inviting people who have experience to talk about TVET education is going to be of benefit to us as students. Because probably we might not be able to have opportunity to learn it in our classrooms. So having such opportunities in such gatherings will be of benefit to us as students, and I believe anybody who attended this symposium will learn a lot and will have experience regarding that area.
So, Mr. Cham, usually people will want to finish their educations and then have white-collar job that is sitting in the four corners of the offices and so on, not knowing there are some people who are not actually wearing those suits and tie, but then their disposable income and the income, I'm sorry, using economic terms and so on, but then actually their overall income and so on, usually, it's usually better than somebody who wears suit and tie. So you think, people's mentality towards Tibet education needs to be changed if we want to have a better Gambia. Is that what you subscribe to?
Yes, I will subscribe to that. I will absolutely say yes. But again, before I dwell, further in this, I have to acknowledge the efforts of the stakeholders like MOPSI and MOHAS. Recently, we have seen, students who are awarded scholarships to go overseas to study areas that are related to technical and vocational areas. So of course, this is the concern that they are having, and of course, as a council, we also believe that it is the way forward for a better Gambia. Technical and vocational skills, are very significant. Yeah, they're important. Gambia, if you look at the market, currently you realize it is dominated by foreigners.
Sure.
Today you need a dress, you contact a Senegalese to sew it for you. Today you need to repair your computer, you contact a Nigerian to do it for you. Today you want to buy something, you go to the Mauritanian or the Lebanese, and buy from that guy. You see, so where are the Gambians? So we need to develop that culture of of orientation. We need to have a 360 turn to ensuring that we possess those skills that our other colleagues in other countries possess, so that we can also take charge of so many issues in the country. Of course, we acknowledge this, the great job that have been done by foreigners in the area of technical and vocational skills. But again, we need our government brothers to take up responsibility. These are things that we can do. And before you go and employ a foreigner to do it for you, why not you have that Gambian brother or Gambian sister to do it for you?
Like the common saying, charity begins at home.
Sure. So this is what we realize as an edusant, or as a council. And of course, our team for this EDUSA week is teachers' capacity building for national development.
Exactly.
So when we talk about
the capacity of teachers,
exactly, so good. When you talk about national development, of course, it covers the development of skills in the country.
Exactly. In
The
fact,
support.
TVET is one of those mechanisms of promoting teachers' capacity and then also developing the nation.
That's very correct.
Sure, yeah.
Because if you develop the mindset of that teacher who is going to the classroom to teach that student, of course, then you are developing the nation.
The nation, that is for
So
sure.
this is what we realized as a council, and we center our team on that.
Yeah.
And I will just quickly remind the viewers that this EDUSA week is scheduled to take place from the 2nd to the 6th of May.
Yeah.
From the 2nd, that is starting on Tuesday, and it is finishing on Saturday.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
Yeah, I think we will do that. We'll make sure the video goes round, and then also they need to be aware of the days the program will be taken. So he said actually debate is very important if we want to achieve development, and then promoting teachers' capacity cannot just go beta debate. Do you also agree to that?
Yes, Mr. Lamin.
Yeah.
I will my own coin what I would say,
Yeah.
build my capacity before I build a capacity.
Of course.
So if I didn't have the required capacity, I may not be able to build a particular capacity.
Yeah, that is
so somebody may ask an important question.
Yeah.
TVET, what are they doing before TVET? You're gonna just give me a skeleton, skeletal technical education and vocational education training. Okay, so therefore there must be something in place.
Sure.
First of all, you must build the capacity of teachers.
And we might, in fact, try to tell them actually what the acronym means. That is TVET.
Yeah.
Meaning technical vocational education
And educational training.
Exactly.
So
that is important.
Yeah, it's very. In fact, I would say it's just a new way of saying skills training centers. In those days, it was skill training centers. There were a lot of skill training centers. Myself, I undergo a skill training at GTTI.
Okay.
But then it's quite important to train people. You cannot just become a fisher by practical. You must have theoretical aspect of fishing.
Sure.
Okay. In order to understand what fishing means, you must go through some dangers of fishing. Fishing also have something that the do's and don'ts.
Okay.
So, and that is involved in Tibet.
Okay.
Okay. You look at let's say welding, or you look at auto mechanic.
Yeah.
Okay. People may venture into it, but did they know the safety precautions?
No.
They must understood all those things,
Sure.
and the mindset have to be changed.
Sure.
The mindset start from the grassroots.
Yeah.
Most of the time, people say the jobs we will abandon here are the jobs we are doing outside. So let it the mindset be changed. People know that these TVETs are to develop the country. It's not for this stereotype issues. People have stereotype when it comes to technical jobs.
Okay.
You may want to say, I may not do this in my country. If I go out, I will do it. But what if you did not go out? Who is going to do it for you? So these and many other things need to be well understood in order for a mindset to be developed and changed. So that is the most important aspect of this EDUSA week.
So what do you think the students will benefit from attending this event and then hearing people talking about Tibet?
Very good. The students will benefit into directly when the curriculum, they are responsible as a body to design the syllabus that should have been followed in schools. So, and I believe education is, and in fact, those that are not among the education, they could have been stakeholders or duty bearers who will send their kids to schools.
Sure.
So therefore, we will get first-hand information at EDUSA Week from the curriculum expert. What are the things in place in order to prepare for the technical vocational education programs, and also teacher capacity, the importance of it. The permanent secretary, MOPSI, will be there to take us through what they have in order to build our capacity. If I tell you, in fact, all of us, we are on the process of building our capacity is on the process to be built.
Sure.
Because most 90% of the students are given scholarship. Sure. So they are building our capacity, but they cannot build our capacity based on the design curriculum that are with the university. So therefore, it's better for the students. We will benefit from it when we have direct interface with them to come and tell us things that are not part of the university curriculum, but those are the realities in place.
Very good. So that is a very wonderful deliberation. So like the minister said, he believes it is very important that the people attend because they get to know about all those modalities that are in place, the curriculum that needs to be changed to suit the TVET education. Because like you made mention before, somebody told us when Gambia needs to, some technical jobs, they need to take people from outside. So you think Gambia, we have those talents, we have those brains that can also grab this TVET education and build the nation.
Actually,
so yeah.
Exactly. Actually, we have so many brains, so many intelligent people here who can make Gambia or who can build Gambia to the place where we want it to be in the nearest future.
Through TVET education.
Through TVET education.
EDUSA should
and
also
I believe
grab this opportunity.
Exactly, most especially as teachers. Since from here we are going to be teachers in classrooms, it's good to have this experience to share with your students in future. Okay. So having the skills, understanding the skills will benefit you and the students that you are going to teach in future, because those are the future leaders. So having this knowledge and also impacting it on those students is something that is very important, which is why education students should come in their large numbers to make sure that they learn from this activity, also to make sure that they make this activity a success. So TVET education, the importance of TVET education, it cannot be overemphasized. We will talk here until tomorrow. We cannot finish. It's important. So which is why I'm encouraging all education students to make sure that they come and attend this important event to learn new things that they have never learned before and to have experience regarding this. Because as teachers, it's important for us to have this knowledge.
So usually you have been a teacher for a while, and then you actually know what the teachers are lacking when it comes to their knowledge and so on. You think this knowing the TVET stuffs is going to be a very good addition to their knowledge?
Definitely, it's very important because learning is I can say it's unending, something that is unending.
That never ends, of course.
Definitely. So that is why having this knowledge is important, because nobody knows in future. If you have these skills, probably in nearest future you might not be teacher. So you may use the skills that you have to build yourself and also to build your future. So I think this is not a waste.
Build the nation.
Definitely. So I don't think it's something that is a waste. I think it's something very important, and I believe education students will make sure they attend this event to learn something from it, which will benefit us and the nation in nearest future.
So, Mr. Cham, from the field of research and then education, we understand that there are many things that needs to be done when it comes to our educational sector. To develop the nation, you cannot just shy away from the education. It is very important. From your own point of view, you have been a teacher and also one of the heads in different schools in the Gambia and so on. So, what has been your observation when it comes to the educational front? What do you think is lacking for this country to move forward, especially when it comes to the education, the School of Education that are training teachers? What do you think should be put in place to make sure the teachers' capacity is built?
Yes, thank you, sir. Yes, education is everyone's business.
Sure.
Yeah, you know it or you do not know it. Understand that education is your business. Why is education your business? Because without education, you cannot survive.
Sure.
You see, so if you look at the system, it is a complex system. Why? Because it has different stakeholders. We are talking of teachers. You go around, you have, parents. They're also very key when it comes to education. You also move and you have the officials, like the regional personnel, the cluster monitor, the director, the POs, and the SEOs, right? You also have the minister and the, members at head office. So these are the students as well. These are people who are very significant, when it comes to education. So if you want to solve this the problems or the challenges that we are facing in our school or in our system, everyone should, try to enhance that commitment. The teacher needs to understand that you are a teacher and you are there to develop the mindset of the students. So parents should understand that their involvement in the attainment of quality education is paramount. Because if they lag behind, understand that we're going to have problem in the system. So today we're talking of TVET education. So one key weakness that we have, in attainment of these issues is as a result of the involvement of parents. Some parents, like they may not want their kids or their children to do certain type of work. And if you go to other countries, you see those people, you see female or ladies, doing that work.
Yeah.
So why do Gambian parents, do not want to, allow their children to do, let's say, for example, car mechanic or to be a constructor? So these are things where they can get money. So parental involvement is very key in education, right? And again, our first program, I told you, one thing that we are lacking in the country's educational system is investment.
Sure.
We need investment. Education is very costly. It is very, very costly.
Yeah.
It is never a one-man show.
Sure.
It is never the ministry's show. Don't say education is under the Minister of Basic and Secondary Education. They are the one who are having all responsibilities to provide the needs and the services that we need in the system. So you are there, you have your money, invest. One way to invest is if you see someone who is determined to read, sponsor that person. You see a teacher who is committed to teach, sponsor that person to go and develop himself. You realize college is not having those equipment, doesn't have microscope or doesn't have certain learning equipment, and you are in the position to purchase it, to buy it and give it to them.
Sure.
You see that the university is lacking, let's say, a projector, and they need it to deliver their services. You are in the position to do it, buy it and give it to them. So these are things that we need. Like if you go to our school, like the University of the Gambia, we don't have all. Of course, the management is trying, but we are having so many, challenges when it comes to, teaching and learning, because we don't have those tangible, materials that we can use to enhance better learning. So what I would encourage everyone, is let us invest in education. If we invest in education, of course, we'll have a 360 change, in our country's system, and that will enhance a better development. Yeah.
Okay, that is very important. That will actually enhance a better development. Now, moving forward, we'll just take a new dimension. That is to actually let the viewers know from our own different ministries what we are doing to make the event successful. So we start with the logistics and then the technical department. So far, so good. The event is, like you said, you are already almost in the EDUSA week. Taking consideration of your efforts. So far, what has been your effort?
Yes, viewers, also the EDUSANs, and to any other individual watching us on Fine TV, Gambia. So so far so good. There is nothing done if there is nothing to be said about what have been done. So therefore, the technical and logistic ministry has gone so far in making sure that this program becomes one of the best of realities. And first of all, what we did as a council, 13 executive council, we wanted to own assets, and that is one of the most important aspect of logistic ministry in EDUSA. We try. The talkless of I would have not mentioned many things, because if I wanted to say, it would have been just accounting of the material. But just to limit to the EDUSA week, as of this moment, we have all the materials in place. Like many people may ask, where are we going to sit? That should not be a worry. Everything is being prepared. In fact, we will take you through to the campus where the things that are there.
Sure.
Okay, whatever material that will make these things possible, talk less of the tents, the cares, and everything is set on the ground. And we have a very pragmatic, committee members who are very willing, and they are supporting, including all the executive members, who, in fact, I call them all technical and logistic ministry.
Sure.
One thing I like about the 13th Executive Council is that not what is supposed to be the concern of the logistic ministry, every individual join hand, likewise other ministry. So
That's a
I hope
commendable,
people will not be disappointed when they get there, because it's a promise,
everything
and
is there to make it
Alhamdulillah, so far 90% of the
sure.
things is there.
So
Yeah.
the technical is responsible for
Yeah.
the other logistics of making sure that the event is conducive for the viewers and then also for the audience.
Yes, so solely because I told you we are the host.
Sure.
The technical and logistic ministry is the host of the program.
Yeah.
And first of all, what we put into consideration is the security. What we mean by security, there will be nobody who will be harmed there. Everything will be in place. Any material you need. In fact, before you request it, it will be there in place for you. Inshallah. I know somebody asked and say, are we going to have serve me there? I said, what do you mean by serve me? That's not under my ministry.
That is not on
But,
your domain.
but I said the logistic is making sure that if there is transportation constraint towards that to be available there, that constraint will not be there.
Sure.
So thank you very much.
Yeah, so that is very good. You heard from your technical and logistics minister. So we thank him enormously for actually doing these wonderful efforts to make sure the event is successful. He said everything is there. Whatever is going to make the event juicy and then very much happy and very colorful, whatever from his ministry, he has done that. So we are very much optimistic that it's going to be a successful event. So from the side of the welfare, your side, which is very important, you know that the preparations are all on your side. When it comes to the stiff preparations, when it comes to the food and everything, it is your responsibility. So far, what have you been doing?
Okay, thank you so very much once again. As I said earlier, and I will say it again, their welfare is my concern. So
Sure.
I and my ministry, we are working tirelessly to make sure that this event becomes a success.
Okay.
First of all, I will talk about T-shirts. I'm very much impressed how students are coming up with their large numbers to buy these T-shirts.
Okay.
First, we printed a limited T-shirt, but alhamdulillah, we printed thrice. That means that students are very much interested in this event that is coming up. So that is something that is very impressive. This is EDUSA T-shirt. As you can see, this is EDUSA Week, second edition 2023. And the theme for this EDUSA Week is promoting teacher capacity for national development. And thanks to Allah, our T-shirts, alhamdulillah, it is going as planned. From there, we go to feeding.
Yeah. So how much is the T-shirt?
The T-shirt, they cost, per T-shirt costs $200.
$200.
Yeah, and students are coming in their large numbers to make sure that these T-shirts are being bought.
Okay.
So also, from there, we talk about feeding area.
Yeah. Okay.
Let the students not worry when it comes to feeding and refreshment. They are going to be served, as we tell them earlier, their welfare is our concern. We'll make sure that they are served to the best of our capacity as student leaders.
So are you sure the Fatikunangas can be filled to the
Yes,
capacity?
don't worry. The Fatikunangas, if they come, we will fill them too.
And the drivers and so on.
To the max, yes.
So that is it. So you are hearing from the Sanes.
Definitely. And also, we will talk about cultural day.
Okay.
You know, we said all works, no play makes just a dull boy.
Yeah.
So this is why this EDUSA week is very important.
Yeah.
In this same week, we are going to organize a very, very, very entertaining cultural day where we will invite people from outside, students also from different levels, like level 1, year 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay.
Will participate in different cultural activities. Different ethnics will come and participate in their different activities and showcase their talents. Also, we will invite people from outside, like this Kumpo group from Fonyi. We are inviting them to make sure the students get the maximum of entertainment that they need. So this EDUSA week is something that is very, 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 very going to be entertaining. Yeah.
Okay, wow.
We will have Kumpo from.
That is going to be very
that is something that is going to entice students. I believe.
So all cultures will be
definitely different cultures will be displayed there on that very day, and I am so students will really enjoy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and then what else?
Yeah, I think when it comes to welfare, feeding, and regarding the T-shirt, and also these other activities, and so many other activities that are in relation to welfare ministry, we are making sure that we work hand in glove with the rest of the ministries to make sure that these events become a success.
Yeah. So from the welfare too, we can say actually we have the affirmative response from them by making sure whatever is needed from their department is actually done. So that is the Welfare Minister, Bintawai Sane, and then we move on to Mr. Usman Cham, who is the Education Minister. Mr. Cham, from your own ministry, how has it been so far towards the events?
Yes, Alhamdulillah. Firstly, I must submit sincere thanks to my people, my ministry.
Okay.
Of course, they have done great work. Without them, nothing would work. But Alhamdulillah, together with them, we try to establish all things that are needed to ensure that this EDUSA week becomes a success. So we had series of meetings, and of course, our ministry is responsible to organize the debates, organize the symposium, and also design the teams that are going to be discussed on. So we did that at our level. Like I said, the PS is coming, and he's going to dilate on the the roles of stakeholders in policy making and maintenance, right?
Which is very important.
Yeah, which is very important. So we also have another team that is going to be discussed on by the director of curriculum, and that is the roles of stakeholders in this thing. Let me check. Let me go over it.
Yeah.
That is the roles of stakeholders in the attainment of the competency-based curriculum. As I told you, we are coming to experience a transition in our curriculum. So we'll have the director who is going to talk on that, right? So we also have GTU. They are also coming with a very fascinating team. That is our role, our responsibilities, in ensuring that we have that spirit of nationalism. So these are very interesting.
Everything is in the package actually.
Yeah, they are all in the package. Away from that, also we're gonna have debates. We're going to have debates from all levels. We have year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4. So they are coming to compete on very interesting topics. So if you want to enjoy yourself, you want to see this amazing competition.
And then we also learn a lot
from the debaters. So we invite you to come and be with us from the 2nd to the 6th of May.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have poem recitation. We're gonna also have drama, acting, because the team is already set to display the ground. So we're going to have people, they are also going to recite poems that are very relevant to our team that is promoting teachers' capacity building for national development. So basically, we have done this as a ministry. Like I said, it was not a one-man show. It was a show that we did together, and also the council as well. It wasn't only the show of the Ministry of Education and Research. It was a show of the entire council. It was a show of the entire EDUSANS. It was a show of the entire School of Education, I can say. So now we are set. All what we are waiting for is the day to come, and we display these plans.
There is actual wonderful efforts from your ministry, which is the Education and Research Ministry. So that is it. Those events are very important. They are paramount. That is the symposium, and then also the debate. One thing we actually we will also come back to you to discuss is the presentation of awards. We understand that we have outstanding students from the previous. We'll come back to you for that. But then we actually have a very important guest who is currently in the building, who is actually has delighted us to showcase to actually show up here. Without wasting any more time, I'll actually unveil you the guest, which is our able president, the president of the 13th Executive Council, who is very much actually, when it comes to making us work attacks, he is very much there. He's always there, making us actually very important and relevant to the students. Some of the efforts, they are not actually done without his presence, and then his advice is very much paramount to making sure everything is successful and to making sure that the council is being pressed at all corners. So Mr. Alassane Ba and the president of the 13th Executive Council, you are very much welcome to Fine TV to this EDUSA Hour.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Good evening, viewers, and special greetings to Fine TV and as well as the Information Minister, who is so workaholic and as well as dedicated in making sure that EDUSA goes digital. We appreciate this since he came into office. He has been working so tirelessly to ensure our activities are put in the air there, and for the public to know what we are up to as student leaders. So I will first congratulate my executives who have been coming here. And I think this is the fifth episode that is conducted by Fine TV with my executives. And it has been going well with the said minister here, that is Honorable Lamin Sane, the information minister. So today is the fourth day that I am here, and it's because there is a very important event that is coming in the School of Education. And I think this has compelled my coming here as the president. But I always want to say, the ministers can go and represent me. So where I am needed, then I can come into the scene.
Yeah, like you say, so it's very important. Today you are very much needed because we have an event. This is going to be the most important event, the first event that we actually conducting as a council. So right now, your ministers have already spoken and they've said their preparations and their ministry's preparation to making sure the event is successful. So from your own perspective as the president, as the overall seer of all the activities that are happening in the different ministries, what do you think is so much important about this activity that you think EDUSA should take part?
Yes, the importance of this activities cannot be downplayed. Knowing that we are stakeholders in the society, and as well as we are expected to go outside when we finish our studies at the University of the Gambia. And the teams that are brought up by the Education and Research Ministry in as per the symposiums that are going to be conducted, I think they are very, very, sacrosanct to the system of education that we have in the country. And knowing also we are teachers, and we brought this team that is promoting teachers' capacity for national development. Understanding that there is no development that can place without a proper education system or without a good education system. So therefore, knowing our professions, we said it will be very apt and as well as very precise and correlating to us as education students to bring this team because we are expected to be nation developers and we are truly this. The event is very, very important because the event is centered on the teaching professions and as well as is also extended to the health system because knowing the curriculum is very important. They said before you can teach anybody, you have to understand what you should teach. And knowing the competency-based curriculum that is to be introduced by the Ministry of Education will help the teaching fraternity in the great deal of, in delivering what is expected of them. And as well, knowing the policies in the area of education will help you because they said before you can help in enhancing or help in implementing the law, you have to know the law. So in knowing the policies, that is the 4 steps of making sure that you do what is expected of you. And these are things that are going to be deliberated on on when the EDUSA week starts on Tuesday on the 2nd. And as well, I said the curriculum, and again the curriculum and the policies, the debate. We also have debate that is going to be done by the students from the School of Education, because the event is so important because it involves the School of Education students themselves. That because when you look at this, the executives are the ones that are organizing this. But as I always tell the students, that this is a show for the students, not us. We constitute only 19 people in the whole percentage, on the whole number of the School of Education. So comparing us with the remaining number, which is far more than 500 people, I can say the event is for the students. So therefore, the students have to see this event as theirs, and they have to see it as a very important event because they are going to participate, and their participation, even the executives are going to learn there.
So, Mr. President, before you come in, actually, we were talking about the theme of the day, which is Tibet education. So you also want to tell the students the significance of that theme, towards their development as students, also aspiring, aspiring teachers in the future, because we understand that the School of Education embodies teachers from different schools, and also people might be there who are aspiring teachers in the future. So you think it is very important that this team is brought forward, and their attendance, in knowing the different insights of this team is very important too.
All right. Thank you very much. The question that I will ask, what are we with our skills, and what can we do with our skills? That is the first question that every developmental oriented person should ask.
Yeah.
Our skills, we cannot, go without skills, because looking at, in the Asian countries, you have Singapore, you have Japan, you have Russia, and many other countries. Like how, in fact, even in Europe, it started with the British. And where it started, that is the Industrial Revolution, where they shifted now from this modern system of and moving now to industrializations, where machines and other things are used in making sure that there is development. And this was extended to Germany. So just basing our focus on academic will not help a country, because only the paper cannot help us. We have the brain, and these brains or these talents need to be exploited in order to bring the development that we all desire. So Tibet education is so paramount in any development, project in a country. And the Gambia is not an exception, as far as the Gambia want to be on the global level, because Gambia is a very small country. And now we have realized that it's only through diversifying our approaches in our system of education that we can bring the development that we desire. But if you only want to focus on the paper educations, we are not going anywhere. Because what a mechanic can earn, sometimes somebody that is wearing a suit and a tie, go into the office, cannot earn that. A mechanic can just come here and tell you that I want to make your laptop, and will ask you $2,000. Within 1 hour, the mechanic is done. And probably that is the salary of an average Gambian that is going to work to an office every day.
That is for sure.
So considering that, you will know sometimes people that are with skills, they have more, development opportunities, and they have more opportunities than any other person, because for them, their work is based on merits. And again, their work, they have to tell you, this is something that I have acquired as a talent. So you pay me this. But in the government, they tell you, this is what we can pay you. But somebody that has skills will ask you, this is what you are going to pay me. But I as a teacher working in the central government, the government determines what they pay me. What they pay me. They determine that. But if I'm having any skill today, I determine what somebody is going to pay me. So who has more opportunities than the other? I think the one with the skills has more opportunities.
Obviously.
And this is where the Gambians have to focus. They have to make sure that, yes, Tibet education is well established in the country. And people focus on Tibet education for national development. And this Tibet education, interestingly, it is the theme for our nationwide tour. Our nationwide tour will be coming in June, inshallah. And this Tibet education, knowing that is very important in the development aspect of the country, we said we have to come up with this, because we need a very robust campaign to ensure that this Tibet education is inculcated in the minds of the people. Stakeholders and parents, let them understand that these are things that can bring us a lot of development, and they can move up to another level in terms of globalization. But where we don't do this, then we are not expecting any meaningful developments in the country.
That is for sure. And that is actually a very good summary of all what we have been discussing here. From the Education Ministry, actually, you wanted to talk us through the awardees of the day. That is outstanding students who have actually done tremendous job during their study. So we want to actually tell us why is it important for the ministry, that is the council, to award those students.
Okay, good. Thank you. Part of the facets of this EDUSA week is, award ceremony. We're going to award certificates to deserving students. But again, before we go far into this, we have to acknowledge our dean, because why all this is happening is it is as a result of the dean, the effort of the dean. So last year, when the 12th Executive Council, started this, the dean came up with the project that those who performed well in their subjects, those who emerged first victorious in their subjects, should be given award. and that was done, and it was a success.
She
And
has
then
been very supportive.
very well. So those who were given the awards, we are very happy, and in fact, that pushed many people to enhance that strength, to ensure that they are also given award. Alhamdulillah, this year comes the second edition. When we, as a council, when we decide that we're going to stage this edition week, the dean told us, well, I am also going to repeat the same thing that I did last year. So he's working with us. So she's working with us to ensure that those who emerge victorious in their subject areas, will be given awards. So we have 11 students who will be given awards, and of course, it is not going to stop there. We, as a council, we have identified, lecturers who are very determined. Who, in fact, I would say they are all determined. But just, we have that limitation as a council because, like, what we are doing is voluntary. We don't have that money available to do all those things. What we are doing is based on sacrifice. So we just identify, certain lecturers, and we thank them on behalf of all, because anything that we give to a lecturer, it means we have given it to the entire staff of the School of Education. So this award ceremony is going to constitute awarding students, the first part, and the other part is awarding lecturers. And the greater percentage of this ceremony is handled by the dean. The dean sponsored this awarding ceremony. Of course, as a council, we have to congratulate her.
We commend her
for because this has never happened. Our sole responsibility. We plan and ensure that this plan is executed. Yes, who are those who are going to make it happen? Are the education students. We are urging all to come on board. We want them to come. In fact, that is why we said, as a council, in fact, let us not only stop at sharing that information that EDUSA Week is from the 2nd to the 6th. Let us go from class to class and engage them. And we did that. We went to EDUSA education classes and met our colleagues. We engaged them, told them about this event that we are to hold, and encourage them to come. If you do not come, it means it is going to sabotage the event. Because we cannot invite those people, they come and they do not see these EDUSANs. Because all what we are doing is for the EDUSANs. So we are encouraging all education students to come on board. And again, also, I am thanking my ministry and all ministries, because this is not a ministry show. This is not one man show. This is something that we are doing collectively. So I congratulate all ministries. I congratulate all members of ministries for their commitment, for their dedication to ensuring that this plan is a success. And all what we are waiting for is on the 2nd of May to come. That is Tuesday. We start this, and we also encourage them to come very early, because we're going to have a march pass. So this march pass is the first thing that we're going to have. So please come on board, and when you are coming, put on your t-shirts, and we have this march pass very lively. We thank you.
Thank you very much. That is Honorable Usman Cham, the Education and Research Minister. So thank you very much for saying up. Honorable Bindawai Sane, from your perspective, you've already shown us the t-shirt and then how colorful and nice and wonderful it is. So you also want to give your concluding remark by also buttressing on the t-shirt and then calling on them to actually come forward and then get the t-shirt. It is for them. It is for nobody except the students. So it is very important that they buy it and put it on the day.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Sane. I'm very much impressed to be here today, and I believe this is something that is very important, and I hope you continue with this. As a information ministry, you are doing a great job. Also, I will remind students about the t-shirt. I'm very much impressed with the way they are coming to get their t-shirts. And also, those who have not get their t-shirts yet, I'm encouraging them to come and get their t-shirts. We have tomorrow, and then the D-Day, that is Tuesday, still t-shirts will be available. Let the students come on board and buy the t-shirts. Regarding the welfare of the students, we have so many things in place. So all that we need is students' participation. Let students come in their large numbers and take part in this great activity from the first day to the last day. I believe there are people who will attend the first day, and then the remaining days they will not come. These remaining days are all for them. So let them make sure that they attend all the events that we are organizing to make this event lively.
If they want the t-shirt, exactly,
and
where can they get you? Or
exactly.
You want to pronounce your number?
My informations are being shared to all platforms. if anybody wants t-shirts, there are students who fill the Google form. Their names and numbers are with me, and the size of t-shirts, their t-shirts will be available. And those that are not able to fill their names in the Google form can also try contact me in my number that is shared in platforms. I believe they will be able to get one for themselves. So thank you very much. It's a pleasure having me here.
Thank you very much, Honorable Binta Sane, the Minister responsible for the welfare of students. As she said, and the welfare of the students is very paramount to her. Mr. President, Alassane Ba, we are almost to the end of the program, and then you also have a lot to say. We allow you to actually tell the EDUSANs what you expect from them, and then your encouraging statement for them to actually embrace this program as it is theirs.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. I think, as I was saying in some of the classes, I said, what is democracy without the participation of citizens?
Sure.
And here, as a government, a student government, I am considering the students, that is the general students, as the citizens of the School of Education.
Sure.
And their participations cannot be excluded. Their participations make the council succeed.
Sure.
When we were coming into power, or when we were coming into office, we promised that we are going to work for you people, and based on our policies, you were convinced to vote for us and put us in the office. But still, I said there is still marriage that is between us and you people. That is, we still need your support to succeed as executives. The executives, I said, are only 19 people in total. But the student body is more than 500.
Sure.
So if the student body does not come and complement the efforts of the executives, then there cannot be a successful administration.
Sure.
For us to have a very successful administration, we must have to show ownership of the association. The association is owned by the students. You elected us to be in the office, and you also have to hold us accountable of whatever we are doing. But there is a contract between the citizens and the leadership when it comes to democracy. The leadership has a function, or the government has a function, but the citizens also have an obligation. What is their obligation? Is making sure they do what is expected of them to see the government succeeds. And therefore, the citizens, that is the students, are encouraged to come and participate in the events of the 13th Executive Council. The 13th Executive Council is here for the students, and we listen to the students. Whenever the students cry, we are ready to listen to them. But whenever we have activities like this, we are encouraging the students to come and join us and make sure that this is a success. When it is a success, it is not the 13th Executive Council success. It is the general success of the student body. That is the School of Education. So therefore, let us take it as a program that is owned by all of us. That the week is a whole week activity. And therefore, there is lecture free for the week.
Sure.
So
and
interestingly.
Very important.
And I don't think there is any student that will miss this by saying that I was having a class or that. We may say that we are busy. We may say that we don't have fares, but we have to sacrifice for this. The 13th Executive Council, they are working so hard to make sure that there is feeding provided for the students. So where we go and we do our budgeting, and this money belongs to EDUSANs. It doesn't belong to the 13th Executive Council. It belongs to all of us. So imagine now we are budgeting your money and spending it on this event. So if you don't come, it means that you have thrown away your money. You're paying your union dues. You're paying them. Your union dues have been paid. So that union due is the one that we are spending here. So if you don't come and attend this program, I don't think you can hold us accountable. And me, I'll be very happy that you hold me accountable as a president. And happily, I can see all my ministers are doing very, very well. I'm not finding it difficult with any minister in regards to their work. Every minister has given me the maximum respect that I have deserved. Last person, everybody has given me the respect that I have deserved, because that is what I have shown them. And everybody is enthusiastically doing what they are expected of doing. Because I always remind them, this is a responsibility that you have signed with the students. And by either hook or crook, you have to do this.
That is for sure.
Because if you don't do it, you are betraying a trust. And betraying a trust is a compromise of personality and integrity. So therefore, as somebody that respects him or herself, you have to make sure that you respect the covenant, that is the agreement that you had with other people. And this is making us to move forward because we tell each other the truth. Because I know in the absence of truth, there cannot be anything meaningful.
Sure.
So therefore, we have to speak the truth to each other so that we will know, yes, this is the truth. And without the truth, we are nothing. Without the truth, we become hypocrites.
Sure.
So therefore, people have to commit themselves because when we were all campaigning that we said we are going to do this.
Yeah.
So when we come into office, then let us do it. Let us not betray the trust that people had in us until they voted us.
Yeah.
So appreciatively, I appreciate my ministers immeasurably because they are doing everything. Sometimes they do things that I'm not even aware.
Yeah.
But that is, I think, how it should be.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when they are working good, it means that the coordination is good.
Sure.
And definitely, I think the coordination in the council is very good. And we hope and pray this is going to continue.
Yeah.
But we can only succeed as students as student representatives, when the general student body join us in this.
Yeah. So for
See this
TV,
as
you might want to add them also. In the thanking of actually the different ministries and so on, we also have to thank Fine TV actually for giving us this platform every week.
Yes, I think the Fine TV Gambia, we cannot thank them.
Yeah.
Because these people are doing this for free.
Yeah.
They are not asking a penny from the council. Doing it because they understand this is a student government.
Sure.
And they need support. So thanking them will be an understatement. I cannot thank these people. So it's only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who is the master of all and who is the most benevolent who can pay these people.
Yeah, exactly.
So we pray. Yes, we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make them the most vibrant media house in this country.
Yeah.
So, and appreciatively, I thank the general student body who are always supporting us in our activities. And as well, I would like to thank the management of the School of Education, from the Dean to Janaba Drame, the faculty officer, and all the staff in the School of Education. And as well as the management, that is the bigger management, that is the University of the Gambia. And also, we want to thank the UTGSU, who also were able to compromise with us to go on with our EDUSA week. So we definitely appreciate them, and we appreciate all stakeholders who are making sure that this is a success that is unprecedented. So we thank you very much. And the Honorable Minister, that is the Information Minister, we definitely appreciate your laudable work. You have been doing great since you came into office, and this is the spirit. When we work together, we will achieve together.
Sure.
The committees in the ministries to make sure that you succeed in whatever you are doing. And the committees of the council, we definitely appreciate them. They have been doing tremendously well since they were appointed as committee members. So there is no difficulty that we are facing in our council right now because everybody is.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. President Alassane Ba, who is alias Comrade Ba, which is everybody's friend. And actually, he has demonstrated a very good leadership role when it comes to the council, and we thank him enormously for his leadership stand. And then, all what he said about the ministries is actually a demonstration from his leadership, and it's through him that is why we are all encouraged to actually do well from our different ministries. So we cannot also overemphasize the importance of Fine TV towards developing activities in School of Education. So far, our activities have been in the spotlight thanks to Fine TV. So we thank you enormously for that. We just want to inform the students that on the day or during the event, we'll also have sporting events like marathon. We'll also have football, basketball, volleyball, all sporting events, and that's why we are calling it sports day. Meaning you'll have different sports, not only football, but other sports which are very important. Meaning, if you are very much skillful in the area of basketball, you have a say on that day. And then if you are very skillful on the area of volleyball, you also have a role to play. So all stakeholders, everybody, every student who is very much good at one way or the other is welcome to be a participant in this very important EDUSA week. We also thank and encourage sponsors, those who are very much glued to this station, which is Fine TV. We are calling on you to sponsor this program that is coming your way every week on Sundays. And then it's very important that we have sponsors, as you know, there are many things that we need to put in place, and also try to at least chip a helping hand to Fine TV, who are actually starting in a bright manner, and also to actually assist them in that is very important, because we believe they are a TV that is actually trying to bring national development through education, through the university, and so on, which is very important. This is not the only university school that they actually, actually try to bring their activities to the spotlight, but they do it throughout the university. So we thank them enormously for that, and we are encouraging sponsors to come on board and help them to actually survive and then live up. So in a nutshell, I just thank all the guests today who have been very much giving out relevant information to students regarding the EDUSA week. And also, we just want to remind you that the Welfare Ministry is having the T-shirt that is very much beautiful, well designed, and has all the logo, the information that you need to know, which is to say this is the second EDUSA week, the second edition. The first edition was last year, when the 12th Executive Council actually came up with the idea. And then we also have the team at the back of the T-shirt, which is promoting teachers' capacity through national development, for national development actually. So these are important themes that we are going to talk about on the day. And we also have symposium, debate, cultural day, and so many other activities that are very important. So the presence of the general students is very important. So we are calling on you once again to embrace the event and also embrace all the activity that the council is going to bring forth in the future, as you are the pioneers of this school that we are in. So without wasting any more time, can see that we have tired faces and so on. So we just thank everybody, and the viewers also, like the Secretary General, who is very much always on the, on the dial of, ministers, calling them, putting them to task, making sure that they are doing the right thing. We thank you very much, Mr. Bojang. Your efforts are very much acknowledged, and we also understand that you are one of the viewers who are currently watching us. And all the other viewers that we have not mentioned, we are seeing you, and then we are thanking you very much for watching. We call on you to watch us every week. And then tomorrow we'll be live on Taranga FM from the hours of 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. So the dial will be there for you to tune in and also get to know more about this EDUSA week. So thank you very much once again. I'm Lamin San, your host, and then I thank you very much for watching.